Hi, my name is Mark Gillan. Welcome to the video tutorial for percentage increases and depreciation, like increments. Well, great, let's have a wee look and we'll get fired into this then. So first thing is we'll be looking at percentage as an amount. So a wee reminder, a couple of things here. So percentage of means that it's part of 100. It's applying an amount by the percentage. So 25%, 25 over 100, 0.25, a quarter. Adding on a percentage, so it's a pay increase. So what we could do is multiply by 1 plus the percentage amount added in there. Percentage increments over a period of time, exponential value, so an index, for example, 1.25 to the power of 4. So this is what we're going to cover, and let's look into this in a bit more detail. So this is what we're going to be looking at. So the first thing is percentage. What is a percentage? So percentage as a decimal. So let's have a wee reminder here of what a percentage is. So we get fraction, percentage, and decimal. So multiplying an amount by a percentage lets us find out what the percentage value is of that amount. So the example I've given is 25% of euros 1,250. Be exactly the same as a fraction, percentage, or decimal, as long as it's the equivalent of that. So a percentage, 25% is a quarter of 100 anyway. 25 is a quarter of 100. So therefore, a quarter of 1,250. That's as fractions. So whole numbers are over 1 anyway. So what quarter of 1,250 or percentage is 25%, which is exactly the same as 25 over 100, which is 25 divided by 100. That leads us to both the connection there with fraction and the decimal. So the fraction, as you take 25 over 100 as its smallest denomination, then what it would be is 1 quarter. 25 goes into 25 once, 25 into 100 goes 4 times, so it's 1 over 4. That's with the connection with the fraction from a percentage. The connection to a decimal to make it easier on a calculator, or even on a bit of paper or in your head, it's decimal 0.25 by the 1250. That's what we do there. So we multiply 1,250 by 0.25 and it gives us the percentage amount, which is 312.5. So it makes it easier, like I said there, it makes it easier on a calculator to do it this way, or on a bit of paper, or even in your head. Okay, so they use the decimal equivalent. So adding on the percentage. Now, I've headed this up as life is tough. It's a tough life. It's because the most common thing that we do in life is to work out increments or even local taxes, VAT, things like this. And we add them on sometimes, if we're cash and carry, for example. Most common thing is pay. So what we do is we'd look at pay as a percentage increase on an annual salary. So the example that I've given here is somebody on a salary of 48,250 here. They've got a lucky person. They've got a pay rise of 2% on an annual basis. So their annual salary, what we could do is then work out. So we calculate it out, 48,250 multiplied by 0.02, it's 2 divided by 100. You just move the decimal place, which would be 965. So it would be 2% is 0.02. Multiply that by the original amount there, it gives us 965. That is the percentage increase that we've got. So we worked out the percentage value, the amount for the percentage. We then add that back onto the original amount to find out the new annual salary. That's long-winded if we just want to work out the new annual salary. If we want to find out the 965 there, if we want to know the 20% amount, then yes, that's fine. But to add it all back on again, if we can just want the end product, well, we could go straight there. So there's an easier way that we could do that. We could do that in one calculation. So we could, if we wanted to go directly from what's the annual salary that I had to the new annual salary. So if we wanted to do that, then there is an easier way. Let's make life easier for us. So if we remember that in the calculation, if you have a number multiplied by 1, it's still that number. So for example, 5 times 1, still 5. 5,000 times 1, 5,000. In this case, 48,250 multiplied by 1 would be 48,250. Okay, so we're going to be example there of that. So if we multiply that by 1, gives us the same amount. Therefore, what it means is that what we can do is we could work out the percentage amount on top of the original amount. And all in one go, it could be added on. So the way we would do that is take the original amount, which is 2%, 0.02, put the 1 together with it, so it's 1.02. So if we multiply the original amount by 1.02, we end up with the end figure, 49,215. You can look to the other side of the page and you can see that there. So that is that amount. So we know the new salary, it's been added on, and that's what we've got there. So let's have a wee look. You try these ones. So what I'm going to do is actually add some VAT, value added tax. It could be local taxes that run on 20%. So run it to currency 2 decimal places. So start with 19 and give me the end figure. Do the same for 178.95. Then I've given you another one there, bigger increase, larger amount to 1 decimal place. So a wee bit of rounding off here as well, a wee bit of practice for you. And a much larger figure for you, and a weird one there as well. Okay, to 2 decimal places. Okay, pause the video, get them worked out, have the answers there, and then what we can do is we can have a wee look just to see how you got there. Pause the video, if you want, that is. Oh, I'm very commanding, aren't I? Right, if you paused, that's good. Thanks very much, and I hope you've got all your amounts there to check it now. So 19 plus 20%, you just do 19 times 1.2. 22.80, because it's 2 decimal places. 178.95 times 1.2, same thing. Next one was an amount increased by 30% to 1 decimal place. There we go. Round off to 1 decimal place. So it's 1.3. 30% plus the original amount. Again, a larger amount, and it was to 0 decimal places. So you'll see that I rounded it off. And the last one, let's have now a wee look, since we've done that bit there and we've seen how we can do that quite quickly. And we know how to work out a percentage amount. We also know how to add that on very quickly all in one go as well. Right, let's have a wee look at exponential amounts, periodic increments. So if we add things on a regular basis over a period of time. Now, we all know that we can do a depreciation on that as well. It works both ways. You can work out percentages to deduct, minus, or you can work out percentages and add them on. So depreciation, for example, is when you have a motor vehicle, something that's brand new, if you're lucky enough for that, and then you drive it out of the showroom, it reduces in value immediately, so it does. And then over the period of time, over each year, it depreciates in value. So we do know that. There's also investments that we can have that increases in value. So an example is bank interest or your savings. There's also financial investments that can be made as well. So I'm going to give you an example here. If we have a constant interest rate and there's an increase every year of 4%, so 5,500 that's been invested, it'd be nice to do that, at 4% per annum over a period of 3 years. So let's work that out. You could write it as 5,500 times 1.04, because obviously it's 4%, which is 0.04. So the 0.04, the one we've just covered as to why we do that. So that would work out for the first year of 4%, it would give us the new amount. Then you'd multiply that new amount by 1.04 again for the second year, and then the same for the third. We can write this a wee bit easier, so we can. And if we just do 5,500 times 1.04 to the power of 3. So it's just times that 3 times, okay? So you get 1.04 is timed by that 3 times over. So it's exactly the same thing. So anyway, the answer to that one would be that as well, and I've done it to 2 decimal places for you as well. Okay, so that was 4%, 3 times, so it's 1.04 for the percentage plus the original amount, and worked out times 1.04 3 times. So that's to the power of 3. Right, what I want you to do is give this one a wee try. Now, Aisha, she's lucky enough to have this amount of money. She has euros 154,750 and an investment into a very profitable investment fund, for a period of 4 years. She's been told that she's going to earn 21% interest per annum over the period of the investment. So it's 21% every year for 4 years. Round it off to the nearest whole euro and tell me how much money Aisha would have at the end of the period. Pause the video and give it a wee try. Okay. I hope you paused the video. That wasn't a command, honestly. I was just asking if you wanted to do it. Anyway, here's the answer. So you should have written it the same way. Euros 154,750 times 1.21, 21% plus the original amount, 1.21 to the power of 4. And if you calculate it out, whichever way you do it, it should come out as the right answer of 331,720. What a lucky person they would be. Right, let's do a wee summary. So what we did was we looked at percentage, what percentage is. We looked at it as a percentage, a fraction and a decimal. And then what we did was, after we looked at how they're linked as well, and understanding percentages, a wee summary there, a wee review, shall we say, because there's also other video tutorials for you. Then what we did was we looked at multiplying it by 1 along with the percentage. So what we did was we got the amount plus the percentage amount added together all in one go. And the last thing that we looked at there was the exponential increases. So we looked at the power of 3, the power of 4. I hope you had fun, hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for coming along to another video tutorial. Do remember there's other ones there for percentages, fractions and decimals. I've got plenty of video tutorials for you to get by anyway. And thank you for coming along again. Hope to see you again. Bye just now.